Hey, so it's early Saturday afternoon, and I wanted to get a shave in, but first I'm going to do a quick watch check. Now, this is a Vostok Amphibia, sorry. It's a Russian dive watch. Now, first, to address the whole, I can't say it's a Russian thing without addressing something, and that's, I bought this watch well before the conflict in Ukraine started, right? I'm not showing you this to say you should buy one. I'm showing this to illustrate a point. This is a very inexpensive watch. I like watches, and by all objective standards, this is the lowest quality watch I have. But it's the only one that I think I could put into a drawer for 10 years, not use it, take it out after 10 years, wind it up, and it will work fine. It will not have died or seized up. And if there's a zombie apocalypse and I have to flee, I can only take one watch, this is the one I'm taking. And it's pretty inexpensive. So the reason I'm saying all this is cost means almost nothing. Monetary cost means almost nothing. And quality is relative, okay? This all came about because of some Reddit discussion I got in with somebody about, how much should you spend on a razor, right? And I had, it started off saying, what razors would you recommend for me? And I recommended a few in different price brackets. And he said, oh, I've been told that I shouldn't spend less than $70. Anything under $70 is going to be crap. Well, nah, not really. These two razors can be had for about $10 US, depending on where you buy them. This is, mine's a QShave, but there's many different versions of this, from like a MingShi to, I think Vanderhagen even sells this razor now. It's basically a sort of copy of the America Futur, right? It's probably not as aggressive, doesn't feel, well, I've never used a Futur, but I've heard that thing's notoriously aggressive, right? This can get fairly aggressive, but I don't think it's anywhere near the Mercur. And this is a Baili or Weidi. I'll put the model number in the description. These work very differently, and they're both adjustable. And they can both be had for about, $10 US or less. I mean, it depends where you buy them, right? Anyway, I've already washed my face, put on some of this stuff as kind of a pre-shave. Probably most of that's rinsed off now. But the shaving cream I'm going to use today is Derby Menthol. This is the one I meant to use the other day. But I ended up using the Arco anyway, in that case. But let me show you how these work. First, the QShave. You got to take the cap off, right? This uses springs, multiple springs in here, okay? And to load a blade, and I'm using fresh Lord Platinums, to load a blade, you put it into the cap on the posts, and then you put the cap onto the thing where it's held in by those straight bar springs on either side, so it snaps in. Okay, and then its adjustment mechanism goes from 1 to 6. I'm going to start this off at about I don't know. It's very easy to adjust. You just twist the handle. I'm going to start it off at about a 5, let's say 4.5. Okay. The issue here is that the head there's play in there, right? There's play in two ways. One is you can get uneven gap and then uneven alignment because there's some play here, right? So you got to check it very closely before you shave with it. Okay. This one for Baili, I'm going to crank it up to the maximum. Now it's a twist to open, and its adjustment mechanism is basically just like the classic Gillette's, right? And also going to put a fresh Lord Platinum in there. It just loads like any other butterfly or twist to open. Right? That's done. That's loaded. And it's adjusted to maximum. Okay? Doesn't have numbers on it. I'm going to use both of these. from what I remember, 4.5 on that QShave ought to be similar to the max adjustment on the Baili, I think. Or the Baili might also be called, actually it says Weidi on the top. Just show you that if you can see it. I think actually Baili and Weidi might actually be the same word, just transliterated into, you know, Western characters differently. Like, I don't know, maybe the real word is something like Baili, something like that, all right? Like a cross between both. Anyway, hey, I'm feeling some menthol. It's a bit of an odd scent to this, though. Anyway, I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to do the left side. I know already that I like this one better. And oh, there's no problems with alignment or gap here. That's because of the mechanism, and it uses no springs, right? So, and there's not a lot of play in this. All right, okay, let's go. So this is on maximum. Okay, just doing one swipe there. I can tell you that this on maximum is a medium razor. Some people might call it middle end or maybe even close to top end of medium, but it's medium. It's not very aggressive. This one on 6 feels pretty aggressive to me. Oh, I've got it set to, I'm going to try 5. Let's try that. Yeah, that feels about the same to me. If I go to 6, it starts to feel aggressive. Okay. Let me go to the other one. I like the more compact head here. All right. Like I said, both of these are available for about, you know, around $10 US, plus or minus a few. So they're very inexpensive. Actually, 5 might be more aggressive than the other one on max. So and that's the other thing. I don't like, there's shaving cream on here, and my fingers are wet, and I do not want to slice my fingers. Okay. That feels more similar to me. I don't like it as much, though. You know what? Let me go to 4. Yeah, see, already, I don't know. There's just something weird about this head, its shape, the angle, and I don't know, just, there's no grippiness on this handle at all. This one may not look the grippiest, but it actually is pretty secure in my hand. Okay, so I'm going to say, and I forgot to check this. See, that's the thing, because every time you mess with it, you could end up with uneven gap, uneven exposure. This one seems very I'm much more confident that this one's going to do what I want it to do. But I'm going to say that this on max is about the same as this at about 4.25, something like that. Okay. Oh, I mean, it feels all right as a, you know, as a razor. And I'm only, regarding the shaving cream, I mean, it's a Derby shaving cream. It whipped up a lather very quickly. It's a nice quality lather. I'm not feeling a whole lot of menthol kick to it. The scent is a little odd. It doesn't smell minty. It doesn't smell bad. Just not the way I would expect. Okay, so now I'm going to take both these razors down to about the halfway point from where they are now. So this guy from 4 1/4, I'm going to take down to about, I don't know, 2 and a bit, okay? And check everything, because I don't trust it. And I'll start here. Okay, that's pretty mild. All right, so that feels really good to me because I prefer mild razors anyway, and that is nicely mild at that setting. Okay, and now for the, I'm gonna try it. Weidi, something like that. I'm still, anyway, I'm not gonna go on about that. This one at the halfway, wait, did I take it down to halfway? I forgot. So let me adjust it down halfway and see how it feels compared to that one. A little, at halfway, it's a little more aggressive than that one at 2 and a bit. Not too much though. I would call this very similar to a Merkur 34C. Feels pretty neutral. On the middle setting, I should say. Maybe even a little less than the Merkur. Maybe somewhere between Merkur 34C and King C Gillette. But very smooth. Like that. Okay, and I'll finish off with this one. You know, maybe mine just has these quirks. I don't know, but I've heard of other people having QC issues with these. All right, and one more pass. On their minimum settings. Okay, remember, I'm right-handed. This is my good side when I'm controlling the razor. So this is my backhand side. So I'm going to take this guy down to, mine adjusted just a little bit below 1. And at this setting, the gap is pretty much even because it's closed down as much as it'll go. You still got to look at the reveal because the head can wobble just a bit. But now I'm going to try to go completely against the grain here. First, on my neck is sideways and sideways here and side and diagonally up this way. That's very mild. Oh, I see here that I got a little bit of a weeper with this one at the middle setting. All right, so this feels pretty comfortable. It's very mild. All right. Let's switch so I can focus on the neck because the neck is usually where I have more issues. So this one now, I'm taking it to the bottom setting. So it should be least aggressive. And do I feel a difference? That is super mild. Yeah, so it's definitely, there's a definite difference. I'd say this on minimum is Henson mild. And the other one on minimum is slightly more aggressive. All right, now. Very nice. That was really comfortable. All right. So this side, this razor on its minimum setting, still even. Yeah, it's definitely a little more aggressive than the other one, but not bad. Get a little bit more audible feedback with this one. I think it's because of the bigger holes there. Yeah, and where they're placed. Okay, let's see, what's the damage? This one had like 3 or 4 weepers, had nothing on this side. So, whether that's because of the razor itself, or my technique, or the combination of the two, which would be, I would basically say, is the ease of use. I'd say that the Weidi, something like that. Anyway, I greatly prefer this one. Now, if you need something that goes more aggressive than a medium or a high medium, this one will do you. But you just got to be aware of its quirks, right? This one, I really like this one. Highly prefer it, actually. Well, actually, let's see. Let's see what the alum tells us. Okay, so overall, I'd say this is pretty much what I expected. This side, there's nothing more than the light tingling I usually get after a shave, even a perfect shave. And this one is mostly the same, except for the spots where I had weepers, and those are a little sparkier. Okay. And as far as this, and now, like I never really felt a huge, like menthol hit with this shaving cream. Even when I was rinsing with cool water. But like, you know, but as with all, well, both derby creams that I've tried, they make a really nice lather and they do it very easily and very quickly. So to sum up these two razors, if you never intend to go above mild, this is a good one. It's like, they're both worth the money, right? That you'll pay for them. As long as you stay about at least, you know, no more than 15 bucks, maybe 20, depending on what you get with it. But I highly prefer this one. It only goes up to medium, perhaps high medium, but it goes from very mild to kind of medium, right? This one can go from also very mild, but not quite as mild as this one, to pretty aggressive. But it has the quirks that I mentioned. So I don't like this one. For me, as a guy that's, you know, sensitive, somewhat sensitive skin, you know, this is the one. I like this one a lot, right? Reminds me a lot of my classic Gillette. It just won't go as aggressive as the Gillette would. Now, my only real gripe about this razor is that it has no, other than a center marker, that I don't know how long that marker will last, and I don't even know if you can see it, other than there one dot there, and then knowing that going one way makes it more aggressive and going the other way makes it less aggressive because there's a little plus and a little minus. There's no markings on here. Whereas this one has digits all the way around, digits and dots. So you can gauge settings better with this one. But overall, I think this is a much better razor. So the Baili Weidi or Weidi, that's the one I would choose all day long. Okay, did I rinse? Yeah, I think I rinsed the alum. So I will just go with my normal witch hazel and aloe. And that's the whole shave. So if you liked this video, please hit like, share it with someone. Maybe subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. And I will end with the 5 rules of shaving, as given to us by the lords of shaving. They are: 1 blade, no pressure, quality lather, deft hand, be smart. This is the way. Thank you. Bye.